They're called Michigan's Fab Five, and they're considered by some the best recruiting class ever.
Almost as soon as the Fab Five arrived on the University of Michigan campus as the most heralded recruiting class in the history of college basketball, Wolverines head coach Steve Fisher began fielding questions about starting all 5 freshmen. But Fisher resisted until he no longer could. The Chucker, 1909's resident historian, explains.
For the opening 3 months of the 1991-1992 college basketball season, Michigan head coach Steve Fisher had avoided the seemingly inevitable. While freshman stars Chris Webber, Jalen Rose, and Juwan Howard, 3/5 of the so-called greatest recruiting class in college basketball history, had immediately entrenched themselves in the Wolverines starting lineup, Fisher hesitated to start all 5 of his touted freshmen for fear of upstaging his veteran players.
I wouldn't say I was scared, but they worried me a little bit because they're freshmen and they were real loosey-goosey and out there having a good time.
The most culturally influential college basketball team of its era, the Fab Five brought a new style to hoops, starting with their shorts.
Hip-hop was coming into its own thing. We all loved hip-hop. We just wanted to have our own style.
Even if the Fab Five might have been Michigan's best 5, Fisher thought there was important symbolism and rationale for keeping upperclassmen in Michigan's starting 5. Still, Fisher inched closer to that reality on February 5th, the season's 18th game, when he inserted Jimmy King into the starting lineup. That put 4/5 of the Fab Five into the starting 5. Only Ray Jackson, the least heralded prospect of the 5 despite being a top 100 recruit himself, remained on the bench. And it seemed it would stay that way until Steve Fisher received a phone call from Herron, Illinois. His father, Howard Fisher, delivered this message to his son. Stop being so stubborn. Start all 5 and see what they can do.
Watch this young man right here. You're going to see him dunk 1 of 7 that he had the other night against Chicago State. Oh, my. You talk about quick. The brace his own dunk. Look at it. Yeah, thank you.
On a Sunday afternoon in South Bend, Indiana, hours before an HIV-stricken Magic Johnson would dazzle at the NBA All-Star Game in Orlando, Fisher heeded his father's order. The Michigan coach gave the starting nod to Jackson over upperclassmen Freddie Hunter and James Voskuhl. Fisher attributed the last-minute change to matchups against Notre Dame. In front of a national television audience on February 9th, and a capacity crowd of 11,418 at the Joyce Athletic and Convocation Center, Michigan's 5 freshmen stepped onto the court together for the first time at tip-off. And the college basketball world took notice. We realized Coach Fisher was going out on a limb starting 5 freshmen on national TV, Chris Webber would tell reporters after the game. I'm sure a lot of people thought he was crazy. We wanted to go out and prove him right. And they did just that in spectacular fashion. Powered by the Fab Five, Michigan rushed out to a 14-5 lead in the game's opening 6 minutes and led the Fighting Irish by as many as 17 in the first half. It was more of the same in the second half, as Michigan's freshman-only crew scored the first 7 points after intermission to build a 45-27 lead. Though Notre Dame would mount a comeback, cutting the Wolverines' lead down to 4 at one point, Michigan withstood the rally and left South Bend with a 74-65 victory. Most remarkably, the Fab Five scored all 74 of Michigan's points that afternoon. Rose led the way with 20 points, while King dropped in a season-high 19, Webber contributed 17, Howard 14, and Jackson 4. We scored every point in the game, Howard double-checked after hearing the news. That's unbelievable. Notre Dame coach John McLeod praised Michigan's rookies. That's an impressive group of freshmen they have, McLeod said. They are athletic, quick, strong, long-armed, and can jump. All of them are tremendous players, and they are very confident and sure of themselves. Just a great group with great poise and great confidence. For his part, Fisher tried to deflect talk of the all-freshman starting 5, still wary of creating upheaval on his team. This was a real good, important, well-played win for Michigan, Fisher said, simply happy his 16th-ranked squad had pushed its record of 14-5. I don't want to get caught up in the fact that we've got 5 freshmen starting. We've got to make sure it's a Michigan team victory and it doesn't focus, as it so often has this season, on the freshmen. But it was too late. On a cold winter day in South Bend, Indiana, the revolution gained heat. For 19-9, I'm the Chucker.
We just had a little flair, a little style.
People call us cocky, but we're a more confident team.
We figured, why don't they like us? How could you not like us? You know, and if you don't like us, we're going to make you like us.
I don't think we ever doubted ourselves from day one. And we knew if we stayed together, we could do anything we wanted to.
Brash, confident. We didn't use the word swagger back then, but we had a hell of a swagger.
Chris Webber, Jalen Rose, Juwan Howard, Jimmy King, and Ray Jackson.